Have you ever looked into a cat's eyes and felt like it knew something you didn't? What if that something was the secret to your death? Today, we're diving into the 2011 South Korean horror film, The Cat, a story that will make you think twice the next time a stray feline crosses your path. It's a tale where cute, cuddly companions become vessels for a terrifying, vengeful spirit. Our story begins with So-yeon. It's a kind-hearted woman who works as a groomer at a pet shop called Kitty and Puppy. She suffers from intense claustrophobia, a condition stemming from a traumatic childhood event that we'll learn more about later. Her life is relatively quiet, revolving around her work and her close friend, Bo-hee. But that tranquility is about to be shattered. One day, a client brings in a beautiful Persian cat named Bedanyi. Later that day, the police calls So-yeon to the client's apartment. The owner has been found dead in the building's elevator, her face a mask of pure terror. The police are baffled, and the only witness is the cat, Bedanyi, now cowering in a closet. With no one else to take the cat, the police ask So-yeon to care for it temporarily. Reluctantly, she agrees, taking Bedanyi home. From the moment Bedanyi enters her apartment, strange things begin to happen. So-yeon starts having unsettling nightmares. She sees a small girl with short, dark hair and piercing green eyes. This ghostly child seems to be everywhere in her dreams, in the shadows of her apartment, and even in fleeting reflections. At first, she dismisses it as stress, maybe a side effect of her claustrophobia. But the visions become more frequent, more vivid, and much more frightening. The cat Bedanyi seems to be at the center of it all. It often stares at empty corners of the room, as if watching someone So-yeon can't see. Its behavior is erratic, sometimes affectionate, other times distant and eerie. So-yeon tries to find a new owner for Bedanyi, hoping to rid herself of the unsettling presence that came with it. She posts flyers and asks around, but no one seems to want the cat. Meanwhile, So-yeon's best friend, Bo-hee, is going through a tough time. She's just bought a new cat, but her husband, who is allergic, is forcing her to get rid of it. Desperate, she asks So-yeon to look after her new pet at the shop for a while. That night, Bo-hee, heartbroken and alone in her apartment, is visited by the same green-eyed ghost girl. The next morning, she's found dead, locked inside a closet, another victim with a look of unimaginable fear on her face. So-yeon is devastated and terrified. She now realizes the deaths aren't a coincidence. They're connected to cats, and specifically to the ghostly little girl. She starts to investigate, driven by a desperate need to understand what's happening before she becomes the next victim. She talks to a police officer, Jun Seok, who is skeptical at first but soon realizes there's more to these cases than meets the eye. Their investigation leads them to a grim discovery. A while back, there was a major issue with stray cats in the boiler room of an apartment complex. The residents were complaining, and a pest control company was called in to deal with the problem. This is where the story takes a truly heartbreaking turn. We learn that a little girl named Hee-jin used to live in that building. She was a lonely child, often neglected by her parents. Her only friends were the stray cats she cared for in the boiler room. One day, while the pest control workers were rounding up the cats, Hee-jin tried to protect them. In the ensuing chaos, the boiler room door was locked, trapping her inside with the cats. No one heard her cries for help. Overlooked and forgotten, Hee-jin tragically died in that dark, confined space. Her spirit, filled with anger and sorrow, became bound to the cats she loved so dearly. The green eyes that So-yeon keeps seeing. They aren't the ghost's eyes. They are the cat's eyes, reflecting the image of the vengeful spirit. The ghost girl herself doesn't have green eyes. She peers through the cats to her victims. This explains why the first victim, Bedanyi's original owner, died. She had adopted Bedanyi, one of the cats from that boiler room. But she was cruel to the animal, locking it in the closet. Hee-jin's spirit, protective of her feline friends, appeared to the woman and frightened her to death. The same thing happened to the animal shelter manager, who was responsible for the cruel roundup of the strays. He is found dead, having fallen from a great height after being cornered by the ghost and a swarm of cats. Now Sojan understands the terrifying truth. The ghost of Heejin isn't just randomly killing people. She is seeking revenge on anyone who mistreats cats. Her spirit enacts a form of spectral justice, protecting the innocent creatures she couldn't save in life. This revelation forces Soyeon to confront her own past. We learn that her claustrophobia began when she was a child. Her father, in a fit of rage, locked her in a closet. This shared trauma of being trapped and forgotten connects her to Heejin on a deep, emotional level. She realizes she's not just a potential victim. She's someone who can understand the ghost's pain. The climax of the film takes place in the very boiler room where Heejin died. So-yeon is lured there, the ghost's presence growing stronger and more aggressive. Jun Seok, the police officer, rushes to save her. Inside the dark, cavernous room, So-yeon is confronted by Heejin's spirit. But instead of fear, So-yeon feels empathy. She speaks to the ghost, not as a monster, but as a lost and lonely child. She apologizes for what happened, for the cruelty and neglect Heejin suffered. At that moment, the boiler ignites and the room begins to fill with smoke. So-yeon's claustrophobia kicks in, and she's paralyzed with fear, reliving her own childhood trauma. But then, something incredible happens. The ghost of Heejin, seeing So-yeon's distress, seems to change. Instead of attacking, the spirit reaches out and guides her towards the exit, leading her out of the smoke-filled room to safety. It's a moment of spiritual catharsis. By showing compassion, So-yeon breaks the cycle of revenge. Heejin's spirit, finally understood and acknowledged, seems to find a measure of peace. In the aftermath, So-yeon makes a decision. She overcomes her fear and decides to keep Badanye, no longer seeing the cat as a harbinger of death, but as a survivor, just like her. The final scene shows So-yeon in her apartment, now comfortable and at peace. She looks at Badanye, and for a moment, in the cat's eyes, she sees the reflection of a smiling Heejin before it fades away for good. The curse is broken. The cat is more than just a ghost story. It's a powerful commentary on animal cruelty and neglect. It uses the supernatural to shine a light on a very real-world problem. The film asks us to consider how we treat the most vulnerable creatures among us, reminding us that cruelty has consequences, sometimes in the most unexpected and terrifying ways. It masterfully blends jump scares with a genuinely tragic and moving story, leaving you with a lingering sense of melancholy. So, what do you think? Is it a classic case of a vengeful spirit, or a tragic tale of a child's love for her pets gone horribly wrong? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more horror movie breakdowns. Thanks for watching, and remember to be kind to your pets. You never know who might be watching.